As a landlord, have you received a letter from your local authority, or are you facing a tenant complaint, an improvement notice, or an investigation? Or are you not sure about what your exposure is or what happens next? Or perhaps nothing has happened yet, but you have a feeling something might. Maybe your tenant has been raising issues. Maybe you have not visited your property in a while. Maybe you're thinking about selling or evicting and you're not sure what you need to do before you take your next steps. Whatever your situation, this is what our housing compliance risk and enforcement case review is for. Now, let me be direct with you about why you should come to us before you go to a solicitor. Most high street solicitors are not housing compliance specialists. They charge around £500 an hour, every letter, every email around £200 plus VAT as a standard charge. And in reality, the preparation work, gathering records, reviewing letters, building the file is carried out by a trainee or junior in articles anyway. And even housing specialist solicitors, have they done HHSRS training? Do they know what Category 1 and Category 2 hazards look like inside your property? Do they know enforcement is being applied by your local authority, how it's been applied by your local authority right now or this month? And the thing is, when you're going to be going to your solicitor and you're going to say, can you issue a Section 8? They're not going to ask you, what is your property condition like? Then that become, and if they carry Category 1 and Category 2 hazards, that is unlawful eviction. We come across this every single day when landlords and agents bring us cases, right? So we come across this. And when we ask the solicitors, the answer is always the same. No, the landlord did not tell us this, right? So before you can think of eviction, before you go to your solicitor, please come to us so we can save you an awful lot of money. Here is what we see on a daily basis. Landlords go to a solicitor for an eviction. The solicitor takes their money and processes the notice, but do they ask whether the property is free of Category 1 and Category 2 hazards? In our experience, almost never. And when things go wrong, when enforcement follows, when a tenant raises a rent repayment order, the solicitor will simply say, well, you didn't tell us that. They follow your instructions. They will charge you an arm and leg to tell you that it was your responsibility all along. That is a trap, and we make sure that you do not fall into it. Right? We ask those questions every time because we know what the risks are, and we make sure that they're dealt with before they become a reason everything falls apart. Right? Because enforcement varies from authority to authority, from officer to officer, knowing that the law is not the same as knowing how it is going to be enforced where your property is. We do both. Now, here's the other thing that you need to realize as well is your tenant, right, if they go to a no-win, no-fee solicitor, they are going to be using every single trick on the ground, right, that is available to them, right, because they're going to be delaying possession as long as possible, because the more court cases, the longer they can prolong this, yeah, it means more money for them. Your solicitor, most high street solicitors, they know this as well, so they would just turn around and say to you, we only received we only received notice from them 1 or 2 days before the hearing, right? And didn't give us time to prepare. That they're challenging, right? They're challenging the eviction, right? They're challenging it. We can help save you all those sleepless nights, those lengthy costs, etc., by keeping on top of things at the beginning. Right. This is why it's absolutely essential for you to do a Category 1 and Category 2 risk assessment. This is why we always advise our landlords and agents, right, to at least become members so we can help you, right, and this will not be a costly process. So whilst we are not solicitors, my name is Reverend Jazz. I've studied law. I've also done the HHSRS training. We deal with these situations on a daily basis, and throughout 180 plus local authority relationships, we know how enforcement is applied both locally. We keep our heads close to ground. I also used to work as a financial consultant. I'm Chartered Institute Public Finance Accountancy, right, trained as well, right. So I'm also a National Residential Landlord Association Renters Right Act trained, right. So we do this. So what we bring to you is practical, professional, right, every day-to-day experience, right, which a solicitor would not be able to go and do this. A solicitor's not going to know where your risks lie inside your properties. We do. So we keep our ears close to the ground. We do the bulk of the preparation work first. We review your letters and documents. We gather the evidence. We build the files, and we tell you exactly what point you're going to need a solicitor or a barrister, and we refer you to the right specialist, the right legal team, the right channels. Now, let me tell you everything we can help you with, because it's important that most landlords realise what we can. Local authority investigations, interviews under caution, HMO licensing, tenant complaints, disrepair, damp and mould, improvement notices, category 1 and category 2 hazards, rent repayment orders concerns, preparing for inspections, preparing of evidence, landlord compliance and evictions, especially evictions, right? They come to us first. But if you've got anything, right, we will prepare the case correctly and point you to the right legal team. And if your tenant has already gone to the first tier tribunal, or if they are there's an ongoing complaint, a dispute or case that is building, we also provide a dedicated tenant, landlord and agent dispute resolution and mediation service, because not every situation needs to go to the tribunal. Early resolution protects you financially, protects your tenant relationship, and stops the situation from escalating into something far more serious and costly. We understand things from both sides. We know the legislation, we know how to bring the parties together, and we have resolve matters, right? And we've got a very high success rate. And here is something else that many landlords do not think about until it's too late. If you already have a letting agent acting on your behalf, and you believe that they have not been doing what they should do, we can review that too. We can review your management agreements. We can look at what their responsibilities were and whether they have met them or not. We can assess where the liability sits. So while you cannot transfer your legal responsibility to them, right, but they also have a fiduciary duty, right, because they're the property professionals and they're part of the management chain. Now with the new investigatory powers as well, right, so who was responsible, who is, this is what the local authorities kind of look at, yeah? So we can help review this for you as well. So rather than anything come up there, so making sure that if you have got an agent, that they are doing their job correctly, that they're trained up adequately, right? And I could almost certainly tell you that at this precise moment, right, you know, many agents that I come across, right, I was at a Property Mark show 2 weeks ago, right? Today's date is, right, you know, the 3rd of July, right? And many agents, right, and when I walk into the offices and I ask them, do you know what category 1, category 2 hazards are? They're like, yeah, that's enough. That's enough suspicion for an enforcement officer walking in their office, right, because it's open to the public, to start an investigation. So if they start an investigation about somebody else's property, what is stopping them from reviewing your property? This can open up a whole can of worms. So prevention is better than the cure, right? So whatever your arrangements, we can look at this, right? You know, we can look at this. While you are here, 3 things that I want to show you. If you've not had a category 1, category 2 risk assessment survey done on your property, get it done. Don't delay. Now, not while a letter arrives. Right? If you're not a member, right, of Angel Moves, right, you know, our membership, right, sign up for our free membership today. You'll receive enforcement intelligence specific to your local area. You cannot get that elsewhere. Right? And if you're a gold member, your consultations are at preferential membership rates. There's so much more benefits of that, right? You know, and these are, like, you know, the price is there, right? It's like £25 a month, £25 a month, right, for a gold membership, right? That is less than a takeaway. So book a free consultation with us now, right, where we can go through everything with you, right? And if you've got any specific questions, we urge you to email them to us beforehand, so we can make best use of that free 30-minute consultation. So book on to the free 30-minute consultation. If you've already done a free 30-minute consultation, then book on to like the case review.